Okay, guys, I'm so excited about this because I love her. Listen, I've been in radio for so long, and this is one of my girls that I have been bumping for the longest. Maya, thank you so much for pulling up to KDAY and the studio. Everybody's so excited that you're here right now.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and you don't
CeCe.
age one bit. I'm telling you right now.
I do.
No. Look at it. I'm telling you right now. So beautiful. But let's just jump into it right now. So, did you know that Case of the X would be a forever anthem? Because it really is. And, we want to go ahead and ask you that. And also, too, you're still lighting up the stage as 2025 BET Awards. Man, this is so amazing. How surreal was it performing that anthem and celebrating these major milestones at the same time?
Wow. Yes.
Yeah,
25,
right?
25, right?
Yeah.
And 25. So BET was celebrating.
That's crazy. 25,
of
yeah.
the awards.
Yes.
45 of BET in general. And I'm 45 years old. Crazy,
Looking like she's
right?
25 years old, okay?
Case of the X is 25 and 106 in Park is also 25.
Oh, yeah.
So it's crazy, all of these numbers. But it's a blessing. You
Yes.
never know how things are going to turn out when you're recording something until you go through it. You're like,
Right.
oh, that's what that song is about. I feel it is resonating now that I'm going through it years later after I recorded it. So you just never know what it's going to do. And it's still here. And yeah.
But is it how do you feel when you see people still bumping it, still word for word? It's really a classic.
I think
That's a compliment.
A lyrical thing. Shout out to Tracy Hill, by the way, the songwriter of that record, because she went through that. You know? And until you go through it, you're not really thinking that, a lot of women, or even men, can relate to those lyrics.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, listen,
Regardless
we've all
of the
gone through it.
time.
Yes. Now, what's your take on R&B and being treated in 2025, like especially when it comes down to women, in this genre? What's your take on R&B as it stands in the year of 2025? Because I feel like it's making a comeback. I feel like we lost it for a little bit, and now we're getting it back. Now, you might disagree with me.
Well, R&B is like all over the place in a good way. There's so many different subgenres, subcultures, different ages that are covering how they feel. It's
Right.
very honest, I can say that. And then you have real musicianship as well to complement that with her music official, Jasmine Sullivan. There's so many artists now than there were when I was listening to R&B that was very limited on stations, and we only had that. We didn't have the internet. We didn't
Right.
have social media. We didn't have streaming. We didn't have a lot of digital streaming platforms. So it's beautiful because everybody has a space. Everyone can say what they want to say. Some of it's trap and B. Some of it's like classic R&B. Some of it's old school,
R&B,
3/4
yes.
time. Some is even like gospel influence, and I love it all, honestly, because I can understand all of it.
I feel like anything that just moves your soul, right?
Yeah.
That you really just love. Now, let's go back to some of the new R&B artists that you mentioned, such as her. Let's say Case of the X. Let's just play this right now. It just dropped this year. Who do you have jumping on the remix?
Case of the X. Oh, female wise? Or
Yes.
like R&B wise?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Or will we go rapper because it's a remix, right?
Oh, I mean, there's Flo Milli, there's Tink,
Ooh.
Tinashe, dancers, Victoria Monet, if we're doing music videos.
Yes.
Yeah, man, the list goes on.
Now let's talk about the new single, Face to Face. I heard it. I love it. Now, Face to Face dives deep into your soul and like the mindset as you grow into your best self. The song opens up with, "If nobody got me, God got me." And I love that. That's such a powerful first line, right? It's just, why did you choose that to start off the record?
Well, I shout out to Phil Ade because there is a feature. He's from the DMV. He has bars for days, and he actually wrote that intro, and he cut that intro, and that will be on my album. But I cut it in my voice because I'm releasing the solo version first. And I did write this record with Paige Wheatland and Phil. And I wanted to start off spiritual because I've been an entertainer for a long time.
Yes,
right?
You have.
And people always want to know what my journey has been through this business or even as a person and how I stay so peaceful.
How do you stay peaceful?
Unproblematic, mind my business, but also maintain a positive spirit. And this song is all about venturing off by yourself, dipping off and shutting the world out sometimes so that you can get back into you from all of the noise and the opinions, the criticisms, etc. So that song is a deep dive into self, learning to love yourself, but also getting connected to your source.
How does Maya stay peaceful? How do you? I mean, listen. Sometimes I don't look at my phone. I'm out in my backyard.
Yeah.
I love the plants, the relaxation. That's my peace. What's your peace?
There's so many different ways. It does start with nature for me, and just getting close to non-man-made things.
Right.
And environments. I love animals, children, more pure spirits that haven't really been tainted.
Right.
Because it's easy to fall into the trap of society and all of the expectations. And like I said, again, the chaos, the noise. And you can beat yourself up. So I do shut my phone off.
No, you should. Yes, you have to.
Sometimes I literally just leave the entire country and go somewhere else by myself.
Yeah.
And say, let's go.
Wait a minute.
Let's go.
I need to talk about that. You're not nervous? I'm so scared to go across country by myself overseas.
I'm a smart traveler, even though it's not always safe. But when it comes down to it, I'm very responsible, and I'm there to get my peace on. Sometimes detoxing, just in general, eating fresh fruits, sitting under a damn waterfall,
Okay, so listen,
nature.
I recently got my passport.
Yes.
Recommend a country you think I should go that I would love. Peaceful. I want peace.
Costa
I want
Rica.
nature.
Costa Rica is not far from LA. And if you want nature in all kinds of different climates, it's tropical, it's beautiful. You'll get white sand, pink sand, black sand. You can get mountains, you can get volcanoes, you can get rainforests and jungle.
Oh, you love Costa Rica.
Caribbean side, but also the Pacific side as well. So Central America, I love Costa Rica. Their motto is Pura Vida.
Pura Vida.
Pure
I love
life.
that. Yes. Now, listen, you worked with My Guy Mars. Shout out to Mars. What up, Mars? That's the fam right there. And Mike and Keys on this particular project. What was your session like with them? What was that creative process? Because Mars is super creative.
They are also very talented musicians first before anything. So they are musician producers. My Guy Mars and I are executive production partners. And Mike and Keys, they're a part of the fam, and they have been. We have a project that came out in 2018 called TKO. So we've been working since 2015 all together.
Wow.
Yeah. And they're just so fire. They know any and every genre of music they can do because they're musicians. So I love that. And
they just have their finger on the pulse of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely, from hip hop to R&B. So the drums are always going to be right.
Yes.
Mars is a pianist, keyboardist, and he knows music, but he also plays multiple instruments. And I prayed for that for years because it's so important when you cover R&B and also want to do the type of music that you fell in love with music and got into this game for. They can replicate it, they can duplicate it, but also be very original with musician ears. So shout out to my fam.
We're actually in conversation right now to have him come in for an interview. He was in DR earlier, so he was like, see, I'll come in the following week. And I'm like, okay, but I've known him for 15 years. Yeah, and he's been doing his thing.
Busy.
Absolutely.
They cover so many artists live and in the studio.
So you're also sending out love letters with this release. What message are you hoping fans walk away after hearing Face to Face?
Well, I hope that they deep dive within themselves to, first of all, trust themselves, but also allow themselves permission to stop, to take a step, to sit in silence and stillness, to get into who they really are. If ever a question or if ever overloaded, we are all facing sensory overload in this society today, and finding your truth. It's not about trying to be someone else. It's about getting into you and then also loving yourself fully and taking your time. It's a process.
Absolutely.
Where none of us are perfect, and it's not about that. It's about getting to becoming your best self, but it starts with you and getting away from the things and the vices of escapism.
Costa Rica, baby.
Well, that's healthy escapism for the purpose of getting into you, but escapism as in like running away for yourself and constantly trying to like put a Band-Aid on things and not really facing any issues that we might have. So it's a deep dive. And then obviously trusting in the universe and the alignment and timing and God at the end of the day.
I love it. How's it running your own label?
Crazy.
Being hands-on.
It's crazy, but it's so rewarding.
Yes, because to me, you're so zen. You're so calm. There gotta be a moment where like, listen, my name is Maya and I don't play. Okay.
I mean, every day I find myself either going extra gray on one side, pulling my hair out. But it's all a blessing. You know, some of the chaos behind the scenes is necessary to make something happen, but it's a part of it. And when you love it so much, you don't mind at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I love when I see women running their own businesses, running their own projects, because for me, I look at a bigger situation and there's younger women looking at you. You know, and that's something to show them. Like, listen, we can do it. You know what I mean? So I love that you do that. Now, you were just named one of Billboard's top female artists of the 21st century. Congratulations.
Wow.
What does that mean to you 25 years into your beautiful journey? That's a blessing, man.
It is truly a blessing because, you know, I was just in the drop room and I said, wow, looking back at myself, honestly, 25 years ago, I was this little frail young girl, you know, just like confident on stage. But when it came to doing all those drops, it's so intimidating looking at all these liners, like 50 in one day. And, you know, you're stumbling, you're stuttering. Everyone's looking at you. And it's all about the journey and everything that happens between the time you step one foot forward in faith and a moment like that. So I'm very proud of myself. But of course, there's always much more work to do.
Yes.
The best is always yet to come. And I'm a work in progress, but really, really proud of just everybody that grew up with me. And also shout out to the fans because they have held my hand along the way. They've encouraged, they've cheered, they've supported in so many ways. And then we get to converse nowadays, one-on-one.
That is such a
social
beautiful
media.
thing. Yes.
It's amazing. So what a time to be alive.
And it's beautiful because, you know, just saying that, conversing one-on-one, just sitting here because, you know, when the pandemic had hit, I didn't think we were ever going to go back to that. In the beginning, you didn't know, right? We didn't know we were learning. But the fact that we're still here and we're still thriving is a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? But really, congratulations. Well-deserved. Top female artist of the 21st century.
One of.
Yeah.
And I share that with several women. So shout out to all the ladies out there.
Now, you've got shows lined up, you know, from the States to London to Toronto. What can fans expect from the Maya experience on this 2025 tour?
Well, Maya is grown now, but Maya still got it. Okay. So I'm always going to bring it. I love to perform, you know, so you're going to get the live vocals, period. But you're also going to get this work when I hit that dance floor in my 6-inch heels. Okay.
Damn!
And we're going to look good doing it.
Yes. Oh, girl, I can't even walk in heels. I can't at all. I look so goofy walking in high heels. Let me just tell you.
You know, and I cover the hits, but I also cover some new stuff from the independent catalog, covers, you know, to pay homage. We do all of that.
Please tell me you're making a stop in L.A.
Always.
Oh, yes.
Always.
Yes. I love that.
Always.
Okay, so let's go back into talk about the studio. What's a Maya must-have in the studio? One of the things that you absolutely need when you're creating.
When I am creating, well, I need to be hydrated, of course. Mm-hmm. I love lighting.
Oh, really?
The lighting is everything. It's a vibe.
Yes, lighting is everything.
I
tell
need
my girls that all the time. Like, lighting's everything.
Right?
Yes.
It'll put you in a zone. But I also love incense and candles. I love the smell good atmospheres. I love incense. And it just puts me in a specific zone. Now, if we're doing party music, I'll invite some friends.
Okay.
You know?
You don't mind like people being in the studio while you're recording?
No, sometimes that actually inspires stuff while you guys are just goofing off and having a good time or just playing throwback stuff. You know, that can inspire a feeling. So, yes, people are welcome into the studio. When I'm getting serious, though, and I want to write something deep, I'm usually by myself or with maybe one or two other people max.
Right.
So that we can have real, honest conversations and not everybody is allowed in that space.
No, definitely.
It requires a lot of trust. Yeah.
Right. Now, I love this question I'm about to ask you because it's going to make you think. If Maya's putting together an R&B Legends throwback concert, it's your concert and you're putting together, who's on your lineup?
So wait a minute. From what era is the question?
It's up to Maya. You're the boss.
Oh my goodness.
You're the boss. Who's on the lineup?
This is so hard. Oh my gosh. So it's probably going to be the music that I grew up listening to and love. And guess what? I got to do something so exciting last year. Queens of R&B tour.
Oh my goodness.
Direct support for 2 female groups that I absolutely love, and they can sing their tails off. Shout out to Escape and SWV.
Yes. I love Escape.
I love me
I
some
love you, Tiny,
harmonies.
forever. I love you, Tiny. That's my
The
girl.
harmonies.
Yes.
All day. You know, I love those groups, but I also love Jodeci. Mint Condition is one of my favorite bands of the 90s.
Yes.
Obviously, Drew Hill and I grew up pretty much together, same independent label. I'm a fan of so much harmony. I got to see Faith at the LA County Fair and tell her face to face how much I absolutely love her. I would literally study Faith. Wow. All of her falsetto ad-libs and her harmonies and her arrangements. I could sing probably every ad-lib.
Oh my goodness.
From her first album, because it's just ingrained in my
just
brain.
Everything you named, I would pay top dollar for that concert.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's so many. And 702, they were on that bill. Total was on that bill. Just banger after banger after banger. There's too many to choose from, honestly.
But when you do and when you perform with them, it's just like a family reunion, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm having a good time as a fan.
Yes.
First of all.
I love it. Now, the girls have a question. They want to know, because they all about foods. These are my foodie girls. If there's comfort food that speaks to your soul, what is it? What's your comfort food plate?
Ooh, anything carbohydrated. Let me tell you, I just went, and I didn't even know they had this location. Downtown LA, so I know the one in the Arch District. There is a vegan donut place. I stopped eating Krispy Kremes a long time ago when I went vegan.
What's the name of it? Do you know?
And it was a sad day. But there is something called Donut Friend.
Oh, okay.
And there's one in the Arts District, but there's one downtown, and I just ran into it by accident yesterday, and I got 6 donuts. Oh my gosh, how I have missed me some sugar, and that's so bad for me. I'm not promoting sugar, but it's like crack. Honestly.
We're going to pass by there. We got to pick up some donuts.
Look at it. Oh my,
I'm not vegan, but I'll try it.
They have a page on Instagram. And when you see these donuts, because you can customize your donuts too.
What?
There's no dairy, there's no butter, there's a lot of sugar, of course, but it's vegan. You know,
Yes.
There's not always healthy vegan food, so vegan doesn't mean healthy, folks.
That's true. That's
And
true.
I indulged. I had a donut today, and I had 2 yesterday.
Yeah, but you're on stage in 7-inch high heels. You know what I'm saying? You're going to burn that off.
Oh yes, so that would be my guilty pleasure.
Oh, I love that. Let's talk about this. You've opened up about choosing celibacy for 7 years and how that gave you mental clarity.
Well, I didn't actually choose it per se. It just kind of happened that way. There were a list of things in an interview that I did with one of my homegirls. Shout out to Angela Yee. And she asked me about this video where I married myself, right?
Right.
It turned into this whole big thing on TMZ, but it was actually a music video. And the statement was committing to self, right? And then what that self-love journey looks like. So over time, it was, giving up something and just stripping something away
Right.
from your life as a challenge. And it started with food, alcohol. Never had an alcohol problem, but I like wine. I said,
Right.
no, Maya, no wine. So I just started removing stuff. When I went independent for conditioning.
Right.
And then after a toxic relationship one day, and I'd done celibacy before this, I decided that, nope, I'm going to get back to me fully, no investing in anyone else. And then it just continued because I started seeing all of these, well, first of all, mental clarity.
Right.
And then all of these things blossoming in my life. And I was talking about a past tense
Wow.
challenge. I ran a marathon one year just to start sharpening my mind, conditioning, but also proving to myself with every example and challenge that if you can do this, then you can get through anything. If you can do this
Yes.
again, you can get through anything. And so it was sharpening my iron,
I feel like it was like sharpening your discipline.
discipline, mastery of self. And so then when all these things had been removed, I didn't need anything anymore. I didn't look to anything, no validation. And that's
powerful to me.
Very powerful. And then it became a selective option where all of I would say the clutter, because you're supposed to be married by this age or this timeline or supposed to have kids, all the things that you've been taught, whether it's through film, society, culture, family, expectations, they dissipated because I reshaped how I thought through different action.
Right. No, I agree. Listen, I'm Mexican and I ain't got no kids, and that's a miracle.
Yeah, so that was just
people in my family you have no kids and you're Latina.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that was just one part of that self-love journey that created a person that I really love now.
I love that.
That
I felt
I
like
trust.
It was like a rebirth to self.
It really was.
Yes. I love that, Maya. Yes. Go, girl.
Yeah.
It's all about, you know what? I love self-love. I preach self-love, confidence. So the fact, and, it's crazy. I feel like sometimes we have to go through those mental clarity because, we're human. We've been through some bullshit in the past, especially in relationships. And it's not fair to have the baggage and to get into another relationship and give them that baggage. It's not fair either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also expectations.
Right.
Anything that I'm expecting, I immediately check it when it's expecting from another person, unless there's a contract involved or something like that.
Right.
And it's work. But it starts with self, so I start to rely on self. Not that you can't depend on or rely on others, but sometimes when we lean and fully expect to be complete in another person, it gets dangerous because have I done the work? Have I really sat with myself and fully accepted all of me? Well, if I don't like any aspect of me, what am I doing to maybe fix it, better it, etc., before I can expect this other person to accept all of me,
Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, a deep dive within. That's all it is.
Okay, one last question and I'll get you out of here. I want to ask you, you're in Los Angeles. The temperature right now in LA is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to talk about that?
I don't know enough about it, but I was a witness to it over my balcony. It's very unfortunate regarding
there's a lot going on right now.
Families being ripped apart. We all know it's wrong. If you have any sense and common sense as a human, it's wrong. And it's not fair. And this administration, unfortunately, is doing what they're doing, whether it's pride, ego, male chauvinistic behavior is disgusting. And we often feel powerless. Our voices are obviously not enough, but it can be any one of us, any day, any time.
Right.
And that is unfortunate. And these worlds are being turned upside down, not just for those that are impacted directly, but families, entire families, children that are vulnerable, that are helpless, that rely on both of their parents. And it's a really sad time in the world, in this country, because of who's in charge.
Yes, I agree. It's such a sad time, and it's a little, for us, it's a little nerve-wracking right now in Los Angeles to see these kids going through this and seeing these families be ripped apart, But we just encourage everybody to unite, to stay together. And I tell everybody, I'm like, we're all we got. We got to stand up for each other, and we have to speak up for these kids, these babies that shouldn't even witness this. They're young. They got the rest of their life to deal with all this adult BS. Let them be children right now. Absolutely. So thank you so much for what you just said. Congratulations on the new single, and I can't wait to be at your concert when you tour in Los Angeles.
Thank you.
We're definitely going to go ahead and be out there, but thank you so much, Maya. You have done so much for the R&B culture. You are still standing. You are a light, and every station that I have worked at, this is the first time I got to interview you. Now, I remember Case of the X. I actually broke it. It was brand new music when I was in radio, okay, when I first started. And I remember you came out and the other talents interviewed you, and all the guys came to the station and was like, Maya's over there, Maya's over there. It was amazing. But they all said the same thing. Down to earth, so sweet, always been so humble. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
There it is.
Thank you for having me.
No, you're welcome.